Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Today's game will be all about the turnovers. The Seahawks are top 10 in turnover differential, and they'll be up against a Panthers team looking to avoid a costly mistake. So let's get you up to CenturyLink Field in Seattle. On the call, here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. While the skies may be ominous, there's never a bad day for football. Straight ahead, it's a rematch from last year's NFC divisional round matchup between the Carolina Panthers and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their fifth-year quarterback, a Super Bowl champion in 2014. It's Russell Wilson.
And hasn't it been fun watching the maturation of Russell Wilson as a quarterback? Because I think that Seattle did a great job of protecting him early, making sure they ran the heck out of the football, played great defense, careful with him throwing the ball. But as time has gone on, they don't have to protect him anymore. He's just a legit starting quarterback, one of the best in the league. What's his overall record? 46-18 as a starter?
Yeah, coming into 2016, not bad. And got his man complete. And, of course, the defense is going to accept this penalty. Here's Wilson. Finding time. He'll dump it off to Procise. It's a solid pickup of 11, and it's second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Second down now after the pass completion. Now the former Notre Damer, this is C.J. Procise. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. On third down, Wilson. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
He had one man to beat. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. So now here are the Panthers with excellent field position to start off. They'll be led out by the former Auburn man, Charles, hard to believe already in his 6th year now, Cam Newton.
And every eye in the stadium goes to him as soon as he appears, doesn't it? There are very few players that have that type of effect. Doesn't matter whether he comes out for warm-ups, whether he's come out for the game, to start the game the first time on the field. All eyes on number one, and rightly so. He may be the best player in the game.
Newton on first down. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. And what about this offense, Charles? Specifically, what about Jonathan Stewart?
He makes sure everything goes. Put the ball in his chest and watch him run. Can run with power inside, but has enough speed that when he gets outside, he can cause a lot of trouble.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. Now a first carry for Jonathan Stewart. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. On first down, Newton. Man open left side is Brown. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal. First down coming there on the intermediate passing play. That's been a point of emphasis, they told us in practice, using those medium routes to keep the defense off balance.
And it wasn't just them telling us. We got to watch them practice it and work on it because they've been trying to fine-tune it and get it right before this game. And I think they have to be happy with the result.
First and goal, defense with their backs against the wall. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
Now Newton. That's caught at the 3. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Greg Olsen, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers are going to take a first quarter lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. And this will be good to give the Panthers a 7-0 lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the end result, a Panthers touchdown. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And this will be a touchback. Last year would have come out to the 20. This year they'll move it out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Here's Procise. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
3 yards to go on second down. They go play action with Wilson. It's caught, block it. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
Holding, offense.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
Now Wilson on second down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. He fights him off. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
Well, when defensive coordinators game plan to put pressure on a quarterback, they often want to use blindside rushes, and that's exactly what they did there. The cornerback gets to him and drops him.
Here's John Ryan now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now Brown. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Now Stewart on 1st down. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Here's Newton now on second. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And for how much Cam handles the football, he really doesn't fumble a whole lot, but coughed it up there.
And I know that a lot of people seeing that play, they immediately go back to the Super Bowl against Denver and Von Miller knocking it free from Cam. But I think you're exactly right. One of the underrated aspects of his game, he's fundamentally sound when he carries the football. Whether he's in the pocket or actually running it, he usually does a great job of taking care of it.
He'll have to shake that one off. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Again, they run. Again, it's precise. And it's a fumble. And fortunately, he's able to get this one back, so it is a 1st down.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it, and somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now second down. Our chance to show you the offense here, Tyler Lockett. Charles, your thoughts?
Loved him coming out of Kansas State. The third Lockett that played there after his father and his uncle. An absolute true threat every time he touches the ball to take it to the house.
Offense still needing 10 yards, second down. Graham slotted out to the left. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29.
Partner, I know that ball security is preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now?
Yeah, it changes everything in terms of play calling and the pressure you might expect to face on the very next down. Had to throw the ball away and save the yardage. He didn't get it done.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
So Wilson will head to the sideline, and on comes Steven Hauschka for the field goal. This from 54 yards away. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
Yeah, as an offensive coordinator, if you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work. But in his defense, this has been a stifling defense so far. So they've got to start finding a way to unlock them as this game goes on.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And the Panthers coming out now. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Newton to throw. And this is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Newton turns and hands to Stewart. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett. One quarter down here on a frigid December night. 7-3 the score. We'll be back to Seattle right after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Head & Shoulders. Shoulders were made for greatness, not dandruff.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. 9 yards still remaining here to pick up the first on 2nd down. On 2nd down, they run with Stewart. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. Give him 8 yards. There's still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down at about the length of the football.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They'll try and run it. Here's Stewart. Muscles him off. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
I love when a play results in a game that I can actually kind of fall back on one of my favorite adages, and that is anytime there's a run over 10 yards, it means that the offensive line did its job, but you know who else did? The wide receiver. Because the first 7 yards kind of belong to the offensive line and the running back. Anything after that means the wide receivers did a great job of blocking downfield, being willing to mix it up, and give them some more space to gain additional yardage. Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And this is caught at the 8. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
As the field starts to get condensed, the defense likes that a lot because now you don't have as much space to cover, but a well-run corner route there.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Stewart is the lone setback. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Offense working with a 2nd and goal now from the 3. Stewart. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Jonathan Stewart with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Panthers add on to their lead. And, Charles, when you catch that toss going right or left, really, but right in this instance, do you go straight for the pylon? Is that where you're going?
Well, typically you want to try and maneuver people a little bit so you have some space to get to the pylon. So I want to make sure I try and move them a little bit to the inside, and in this case to the left, so I can get to the right side and get to that pylon and wink at it as I go by.
And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it's capped off by a Jonathan Stewart run. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. They'll run with Procise. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
A 2nd down carry for Procise. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Charles Johnson's stock in trade is coming off the edge and getting to the quarterback. But he knows how to make some of those subtle moves inside to help in the run game, and he did it right there.
He's an athlete back in high school, played football, basketball, track, so he's a mobile guy.
Mobile guy, made a nice play against the run. And the Panthers bring in their nickel set as they try to defend here on 3rd down.
5 defensive backs. On 3rd down, Wilson. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. They give him 12 yards and a first down.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Paul Richardson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. It took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
Stephen Hauschka for the point after. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, It's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and they ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
2nd down following the run. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And to the tight end, Olsen, right side. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
On 3rd down, Jonathan Stewart. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. And now Stewart still down after the play. And you hope it's not a re-aggravation of that foot injury. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Now a 1st down throw for Newton. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And on 2nd and 10 now. On 2nd and 10, Newton. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Two minutes to play here in the 1st half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this 1st half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to 10 again. And it's 3rd down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And that'll be caught. Panthers touchdown. It's Benjamin with a grab. Kelvin Benjamin, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers add on to their lead. Well, there was a little extra pressure with that one because it was 3rd down. He didn't care. He snagged it with one hand like it was routine.
The key is to make a play in a tough situation. Doesn't matter how, and in this case, one-handed gets it done. Terrific play for us to watch.
Gano now to add the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. And Carolina scores to cap it off. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This will be taken about the 12. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
On 1st down, Wilson. Complete. Richardson has it. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. And quickly they get to the line. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. He's got time in the pocket. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Charles Johnson. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
But Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean. They can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up.
2nd down, sacked by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on 3rd? We'll see. Wilson turns and gives to Procise. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
With it is Brown. So we come upon halftime intermission here with the visiting Panthers taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you cross-country to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando with our halftime report, here's Larry Ridley.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Seahawks haven't had the same success as last week through the air. The Panthers' defense obviously has something to do with that and should be credited. All right, let's roll the highlights. Midway through the first quarter, Benjamin's got nobody around him on the catch, and that is a house call. That puts them up by a touchdown. Panthers line up at the 3. Stewart's going to look for a gap, and he cap off the long drive with a touchdown. Panthers go up by 11. Now midway through the second, middle of the field, Wilson finding his mark, and this 4-play drive goes for a touchdown. Seahawks cut the deficit to 4. 3rd down from inside the 20. Here the pass is completed into coverage, and he'd cap off the 11-play drive with a TD. Panthers push their lead to 11. So that'll do it from here in Orlando. For the second half kickoff, let's get you back up to Seattle and Brandon Guy.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A gain of 3, second down.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
7 yards to go on second down. On second down, here's Newton. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. We'll check on his status when we get back. Payne. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Defensively, the tackle by Cam Chancellor.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
To throw on second down is Newton. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Cameron Artis-Payne, and it's third down. So the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more? Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall. Now Newton. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Here's Andy Lee now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. So the offense has it first and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got room. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They'll come out in the pistol. Another carry for the rookie Process. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
So the offense needing 4 yards. It's 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And that is incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And it's 4th and 4.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Here's John Ryan now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is taken at the 15. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Panthers will get it here as they take possession. Carolina getting set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity.
Looking for Funchess, but it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowl quarterback, Richard Sherman. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
When we talk about the best corners in the league, we're usually saying shutdown corners, guys you can't complete passes against. Richard Sherman fits that definition to a T. The best part of his game, no wasted moves. He studies the opponent so well, hard to get a pass on Richard Sherman.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Wilson gives to Process on the delay. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
To throw is Wilson. And that's caught. Did he stay in bounds, though? He did not. Ruled incomplete. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Throwing is Newton. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And he's brought down after a good game. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Here's Artis Payne. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. Ataba Rubin makes the stop.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll run again here with Artis Payne. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. They control the clock, they control the ball, and that way you often control the game. A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Here's Newton. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
3rd down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Here's Andy Lee now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here. Graham slotted out to the left.
Let's go.
Right back to Prosine. And he loses the football a 2nd time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. From the shotgun, Wilson. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. On first down, Procise. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense, to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain?
Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
So 2nd down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on 3rd. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. So the offense dealing with a 3rd and 6. On 3rd down, Wilson. And some space here. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's John Ryan now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. The Seattle defense getting set to go. They did their job last go-around, forced the punt, hoping for more of that here.
They got off the field. That's exactly what they wanted to accomplish. Get off the field, turn the ball over to their offense, and kick back and enjoy a little bit of water and rest before they have to go back out there again.
Back out there now, hoping to hurry up and get more water and rest. And he'll get this up to right around the 8-yard line.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. They'll run it with Artis Payne. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now Artis Payne. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. And in this situation with a lead, fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Fonzie Whitaker was the intended target. And 4th down coming up.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't...
Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
So now off goes Newton, and on comes the kicker, Graham Gano. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So they settled for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the fourth.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give him some breathing room and lets him build up a little cushion.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
2nd down now after the pass completion.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And that's off the mark, incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there, and it's 3rd and short.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Throwing is Wilson, and he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Whether they deserve credit or not, the defense is going to take credit for that incompletion because it always feels good when you slow down an offense.
Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Seattle. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10.
Wake up. Hey, 180. Come on now.
Play clock winding down. Again on the ground with Artis Payne. Calling about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Newton to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Returnable for Lockett. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Have to give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. They were prepared. Ordinarily, when they take the big shot downfield to the big guy, that's usually a mismatch that the offense is used to winning. But the preparation showed for the defense, and they were able to bat it away.
Wilson got a man over the middle. It's Williams. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Partners, a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. Now Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. Surveying the field. He finds his man, Baldwin. That one good for 21 yards. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
And now a first down following that long gain. Well, throw on first down with Wilson. To the sideline, and a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. And a tale of 2 weeks, so to speak. Last week, really good. Here, I don't know, they say baseball's a game of inches. Maybe he's just a little bit off from last week, but it's produced different results.
It certainly has. Not the results that he or his team expected. I think what I loved the most about watching him last week when we were doing the game was how he could change tempos throughout the game. They could go fast, they could go slow, they could go medium. At one point, remember, he hopped him into a 2-minute drill in the middle of the first quarter as things were going along just to change things up, and was firmly in command. Today, I think he's trying to find that same rhythm that he had last week.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And this is incomplete. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Second and 10. It's Wilson again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. On 3rd down, Wilson. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped, altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it, and now 4th down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's got time. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Panthers will get the football back. So now with a little over 2 minutes to play, the road back gets very difficult.
Difficult, but still not impossible if they go ahead and play this thing out. Now the defense has to come up big. They've got to go for the strip of the football on each and every snap to try and give themselves a chance.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So what will they do? On the ground, through the air, let's see. 2nd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Offense faces a 3rd and medium with 6 yards left. And the inaugural carry here for Fonzie Whitaker. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Here's Andy Lee now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball. I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
They come up in an offset eye. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
To throw is Wilson. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Carolina getting set to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And to give this time to the tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Six yards here to go for the offense on 2nd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Well, Carolina eating some clock on the ground there, and part of why they were the NFC champs last year, #2 as a team in the running game.
They played their identity last year. Offensive line that can move people in the run game. Jonathan Stewart running it. Of course, big Cam Newton could be a short yardage guy. And remember, their head coach, Ron Rivera, a defensive guy. They love to run the football.
Here's Whitaker. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with 4th down, forthcoming.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a first down.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They come out here in the eye. They'll run with Ernest Payne. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. It'll be a 2-yard gain. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. Charles, this is not an easy place to win. They are known for having such a great crowd. But how about that? They came in here, they were determined from the opening kick, and they got it done.
And they've done such a great job at putting an excellent team on the field. But the architects that built this stadium to keep the noise in, and that crowd responds in a big way. But you're exactly right. Hard to believe that people can still come in here and win the game.
So for Carolina, the win moves them a couple games over 500 now at 7-5. And they will head home next week to take on the San Diego Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, it's a tough one to swallow as they drop back to 8-4 on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Seattle.